welcome to a stretch and relax class, or stretch and recovery class, more like it. And so for today's class, you'll need a couple of blocks. We might have this just in handy. And if you've got one of these blue balls, I'd probably suggest that we take a bit of air out of it. So just a wee bit, and then press, so you've got a little bit of give in the ball. And then 2 round balls and 2 trigger point balls and a little mini foam roller. So to begin, let's just come into a seated position, and we'll just ground and land our bodies onto the mat today. Let's take a couple of smooth, steady breaths here. And so there's really nothing more you need to do except to just simply land. To simply land and breathe. And if anything, just feel the sunshine on your body. And if there isn't any sunshine near you, just imagine you were somewhere where the sun was shining. So let's take a couple more rounds of breath there. Soften for the breath out. And again, breath in. And out. Let's begin. I thought we could start back of legs today. Winter being kidney season, do a really good myofascial release through the whole back line. A little bit of legs and quads. So really lower limb today. We will finish with a nice back bend over the blocks and the bolster, and that should ease out a little bit of that upper back. So let's begin. You're going to need a block and a ball. Or you could use these little mini foam rollers that I get from Black Roll. I've just done another order of these if anyone wants one. But they're fabulous for getting into the calves. But we'll start off with the ball. So the ball's going to come underneath your calf. And so we're just going to go for a nice little explore anywhere. My block's on its portrait shape. And we're just going to have, oh my goodness, a little explore all the way through the backs of your calves. Well, the calves are on the back of your legs, so let's just roll anywhere in that spot. I've lifted up my hips just a little. Oh my goodness, really sore. And it'll rock forward and back. Find something that's a bit interesting and then just pause, maybe a little floss from side to side. And it's often in this practice that the gaze just kind of disappears into the nothing, and that's okay. Think of today's practice as a little bit of a recovery for your brain as well. Oh. Good. I've just found something right in the branch. So right in the center between the two, the branch part of your calf muscle. And so I'm going to just place my other leg on top and point and flex my bottom legs. We call this pin and glide. So now the muscle is gliding around the ball. Just a few more like that. One more. And then you can start to lean on forward. So by leaning forward, you put a bit more of your body weight into that ball. A little wriggle from side to side. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a lot, just a little is more than enough. And then just shift on up. I'm going to move the ball up to the fleshy part of the calf muscle now and just see what I find there. And for some of us, we might be more tender on the inside of the muscle. Yeah, absolutely. And for me, I'm getting like a nice little referral in behind my knee. So you can see why when the calf muscles are really tight, how that can affect your knee, the joint. And then a little switch, take it over to the opposite side. So lateral. And then maybe there's a little turn out of the leg too. That for me is nowhere near as ginger as the inner seams. And just a little teeny little floss. You could spend anywhere minute to 2 minutes to 3 minutes in the calf muscle. And then just come off that, give these muscles a little bit of your own little self-massage, and you can do little fists, or you can do fists on either side, or just get your fingers into the belly of the calf muscle. Really like press down really firmly with your fingers. You can do your own little, these beautiful hands, use them. And you can also run, so between the tibia to the fibula, there's an anterior front of body, tibialis, the big ropey muscle on the front of the shin. Get the fingers into that as well, and that can feel quite good. All right, we're going to keep moving. I'm going to use my mini roller and move up into the belly of the hamstring. So we're just going to do just above the knee, then we'll go into the belly. So just above the knee, lift the hips on up. Just got to be careful with all these things because the little poodle just loves balls. Again, lifting up the hips a little on the block. So you could use the roller or you could use the ball. And just tiny little rolls there. I'm going to have a little play with turning the leg out to the side. So I get a little bit on the lateral side, a little bit into ITB. And then I'm going to come a little bit medial. So turn the leg in. Like a little bit of that medial hamstring. Medial meaning the inside, lateral outside. Teeny little rolls there. All right, so whilst we're in this upper right quad, just going to move the block out of the way and come onto the side and get to that intersection point of where IT band connects, or where all the quadricep muscles kind of pull into the outside. Now, this for me is enough. I'm going to stack my legs on top of each other and maybe do a little rock forward and back, or move those blocks a little. You can do a little marching, or there's a little rock forward and back. This is a great kind of sequence to do at the end of the week if you've done a lot of strength training, or just if your little legs are just had enough, like mine have this week. They've just had enough. They've gone It's enough, Jen. It's enough now. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little is enough. Another 4, 3, 2, and a little hold there. All right. So we're just going to do a little teeny tiny little roll. It's a little tiny roll. We're just rolling up into that mid side of leg. And I've slightly turned this leg out more so I get into the quadricep to the side of the quad muscle. And that for me is just enough. I can't put any more weight on that. So you're all going to be different. And so I'm just going to do a little bit there. And my quadriceps get so tight. And just in Pilates strength today, my quads were screaming at me, being in tabletop. Yeah. Certainly encourage a bit of heat in the body for sure. Feeling a little bit of warmth now. And then last little spot, the third spot. So I'm nowhere near the top of my femur. I'm just up a little bit higher. And I'm going to slightly roll forward and back. So the head of my top of my femur is here. I'm about here. So mid side. Oh my goodness. Just a few more rounds of breath there. Nothing too crazy. Nice. And then same leg, we're going to come onto the belly. So I'm just going to spin around. And now my right leg's going to come out to the side. I'm going to use the ball now. So you need a ball and a block. So now we're going to work into the adductor line. So think inner seams of your trousers or your tights. So the ball's not at the knee. It's going to come in just a little. The ball comes down, line the belly. And then you can start to roll the ball up and down the inner seams of your legs. So we kind of get around that fleshy muscle just on the inside of the thigh. And that muscle has quite a big role for keeping the knee nice and steady. Oh, it's a few little rolls there. So just a little note on the best time to do this type of work is at the end of a big ride or at the end of a strong week of workouts. Wouldn't do this sort of work before you do any of that kind of work. Definitely it's something to do post workout, post big ride, post run. It's a good Saturday kind of thing to do. Nice. Just going to let my leg just relax there for a little bit. You can also lift the leg up and put it back down, or not, or not. Oh, and just let the breath and the body weight drop into the ball. Few rounds of breath there. And so my teacher, Mel, often says that whatever sensation you get is right. So if you come into this shape and the sensation is really heightened and you can't sort of breathe in and around the trigger point, then move the ball to a spot which you can. All right, we move up into the upper thigh. So to get there, depending on the size of your ball, might need a block. And then this time block comes on its landscape. So now we're going to come up into mid adductor. And so same sort of thing, you can roll the ball up and down the length of the inner thigh, or you might just choose, like me, to just let the muscle relax around the ball. Right now, I'm getting kind of into my quadriceps and more on the inner seams of it. So I'm getting underneath the quad muscle, a little bit of adductor, and your adductors are responsible for bringing the legs together. We're just taking a few more rounds of breath there. And then the third and final spot, I'm literally just going to move up one ball's distance closer to the pelvis. So you don't want to come too close to the bones. You just want to still stay in the big belly of those muscles of the quads and the legs and the inner seams. Oh my goodness. And just breathe. I can't believe we've got the other leg to go. Golly gee, just your last few breaths there. Certainly feel that easing, which is super. And then just come and lay on your belly. Then you use that little roller again. And now the roller is going to come above the knee. So not on the knee cup, but just above. And come on. And then I'll bend up my left leg. And then we can start to do some little rolls through the front of the thigh on that side. I prefer to just lie on down and then bend and stretch the leg. That for me just feels so much more approachable. And then you can kind of rock the leg from side to side. Or you can lift the hips and do that little roll. It's all up to you. Oh. So you might find something interesting on the roller, and then I kind of feel like I just do little scratches. That's like little squitchy scratches. Little teeny little flossing there. Breath nice and steady. And then moving that roller up mid-calf, so you can just keep rolling up the thigh. Or you can lift the body and move. Now I'm coming into mid-thigh. A few little rolls there. Oh. Little tuck of the back toes. You can also just hold and then wriggle the whole leg. Hey, little buddy. And then just a few long rolls all the way up, all the way back. So you could continue with this on that one leg for anywhere up to 1 to 5 minutes, whatever felt good. I'm just going to come into a little kneeling position, and that right leg already feels so much more at ease. So good. We're ready to start on the left side. So we'll start off with that left calf. Oh, I just feel the difference underneath my hands. Like my left leg just feels so tight in comparison. So we'll start off with the ball behind the calf, and then, oh, just rolling that ball, rolling that leg around the ball, finding something interesting. You just kind of go on a whole explore. A little rock in a little. So I'm kind of a bit of a fan of these slightly bigger foam balls. They're really good for the bigger muscles of the body. And they're nice and firm. And the other great thing about them is they're really light, so they're great and easy to travel. So this is from a German company called Black Roll. So rather than taking your big foam roller, you can just take two toys, take your yellow banana, as I call it, and the pea. It's a whole new meaning to Princess and the Pea, doesn't it? Oh, find something that's a bit interesting. Take a pause, put the other leg on top. Maybe a little bit more flossing there if that feels good. Oh, gee. Oh, move up into the belly of the calf. So just keep exploring. Like nothing, everything goes here. So relaxing the muscle around the ball, placing the leg on top, pinning and gliding. And it's just kind of investigating the body with a bit of curiosity. And ultimately, we want the tissues to slide and glide. And any of those little speed bumps that are there just means tightness in your connective tissue. This giant hair net cobweb around every muscle, every ligament, every joint in the body. And particularly in wintertime, it gets tighter and stiffer because we're not drinking as much water. A few more little breaths there. And then just pop the ball away. Give your little left calf muscle that nice little bit of self-massage. Oh, really, really, really tight. You didn't have time to. I'm going to give you one more technique for your calves, which a beautiful teacher that used to work with us, Amy Beth, recommended. It's pretty intense. The good one if you're traveling and you've been for a big walk and your calves. Oh, Scouty, look at that sad look, just staring out into the abyss. Really good one for you to do if you're traveling and you haven't got any of your self-massage tools with you. All right. Or if you're out walking and you need to stretch your calves or trigger point them, stat. So what we're going to do is come on up just a little side note here. And I'll go this way so you can see. Trying to get the light right. So you're going to place your shin on top of your other calf, and then you sit back into like a little child's pose. And so your shin bone, works as the trigger point in your calves. And so you just keep moving the shin further down towards the Achilles, and then placing the weight onto your leg that's crossed over. It's pretty intense. Now, this is not one if you've got any knee problems, and deep knee flexion, which is what I'm in, is uncomfortable. So probably avoid this one. It's where the balls are good. And then you find the spot that you can breathe in, and you're kind of sat back in child's pose, and here we are. A little rock from side to side might feel good. And then we'll just lift on up and do that one on the other side. So crossing the right shin onto the belly of the calf. So my shin bones pressing into the calf. And you can just gently keep moving your weight down. Oh. Ooh. All that dancing. All that dancing. And also rock from side to side. That might give you something else. It's a bit sensational. And then just one last technique. Say you wanted to do your hamstrings and your calves at the same time. If you have two myofascial release balls, you can place the ball in the calf, tuck the toes, sit on back, and then you get hamstrings and calves at the same time. And then what I tend to do is just wiggle my legs. So that's another nice technique to pop into your toolbox for later. Let's continue moving up the back of the left leg. So we'll move into hamstrings. So we've got our little roller, and we've lifted up. What are we looking at, Scap? Oh, there's a koala bear in the tree. Of course there is. Yeah, you must have seen him go up the tree. You've been very curious. All right, so we'll lift up and get into the left side. I might turn around this way, even though I love looking that way at the view. So it'll roll forward and back. By turning the leg out. Try moving onto the medial side. So, inner hamstring. And then we'll just move it up to the belly of the hamstring. So just explore anything on the back of that leg there. Oh, okay. We'll move on to the outer leg. So we'll move just above that little, above the kneecap. I'm gonna lie on my side, give myself, a little bit of a break there. And then knees together, you can rock forward and back. Rock forward and back. Or just little marches, knees squeezed together, little marches there. Oh. There's 4, 3, 2. I'm just going to relax there. And you can start to roll forward on the quads and back, a little cross fibering, or relax and just let the muscle relax over the roller. There's 2 and 1. Move the roller up about mid-thigh. Oops. That would come mid-thigh. And then, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm just going to chill out there. I'm just going to chill. That's too much. Just going to chill. Mm. Oh. Oh. So you could roll the thigh forward and back. There's just a few more little rolls forward and back. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's tricky. Oh, it certainly is tricky. Oh. Alrighty, on to the front of the thigh. So onto the front. Oh. Little rolls. So start at the lower point, lower quad. Little rolls forward and back. Oh dear. And so you can kind of feel like we've spent maybe nearly almost 30 minutes just on the legs. You know, these legs of ours do so much. They get to take us to all these incredible places, the walks that we do, the classes that we do, the dancing, all of the things, the just living a life things. And move up a little bit higher. We'll get into the inner thighs next. There's 3. Hey, buddy. 2. And 1. Okay, ball, left leg to the side. Ball comes underneath. We're now just moving into that left side. I'll turn around. You can see what we're up to. So left leg to the side. Ball comes underneath the inner seams of the legs. Oh dear. And then there we are. Just let the muscle relax over the ball. Oh, I'm just going to not actually move. I'm just going to relax. So you can cross fiber, so top of thigh to back of thigh, cross the muscle, or you can go length of the muscle. So you move the hip forward and back so the ball's rolling up and down the inner seam of my leg. Move the ball about mid-thigh. These balls are a decent size, so I don't actually really need the block, but you've got a slightly smaller size ball, pop the block underneath. And then I'm going that cross fibering across the muscle. And then last little spot up into the inner, up a little higher. Oh, I'm just going to pause there. Let the body drape over the ball. And then that's that. My goodness. Oh, that feels so much better in the front of my legs. Okay, so a little bit of a stretch now for the quads. So we're going to come into a yin shape called half saddle. Now, this may not be everyone's cup of tea if your knees don't like deep knee flexion. So take a hip flexor stretch like so instead to stretch out through the front of the hip and the quads. Or if you're open to having a little look-see at half saddle, have a little look-see. So I've got my bolster and I'm going to have one leg bent and then slide my thigh forward and just start off just dropping onto your forearms. Now, instantly that's giving me quite a strong stretch through the quad. So what I'm going to do is bring my right foot to the outside of my right foot and then grab my block. And so I'm not putting my back into really big lower back extension. That's uncomfortable. And so you might get into this and go, Jen, this is so not for me. So you can sit upright. That might be a big enough stretch. You could also come to standing and do a normal quad stretch. You can also lie on your belly and then do this same action by bringing your heel to your bum. And so I'm getting a pretty decent stretch to the front of my right thigh there. If your knee's up in the sky, that's okay. You can put a cushion underneath it if you need. It's like you do whatever you can within your body and the way your body moves to find a stretch that feels satisfying for you. A little tiny tuck under of the pelvis. Oh, it gives me a slightly stronger stretch. So by that, I've just tucked the tail under. Yeah, my knees lifted up off the floor a bit more, but it's given that quite a strong stretch into hip flexor and into the quad, which feels really good. Just take a couple more rounds of breath there. Add a bit of warm sunshine. What an amazing difference. All right, so to come out of that, I'm just going to roll away from my bent leg. Come up through center, just stretch that leg out, just see how that feels. Oh my goodness, it feels like a whole new leg. It's like I've got so much more space. All right, we'll swap on over. So left leg now is going to tuck on back with my left heel on the outside of my left glute cheek. And this time I'm going to stretch my right leg out long and then lay back. So this is just another variation. That bolsters come into the natural curve of my lower back there too. So then I can drape my upper body over the bolster. Yay, that feels so good. A little tuck under of the tail will give you a deeper hip and psoas stretch. Remember to choose your variation that works best for your body. Everybody's knees and hips and backs will all be different and happier in different ranges of motion. So that's all good. You know, 10 years ago when I started doing the yin practice, I was really comfortable to do this. But now I kind of just like to have my head a little bit more supported. And that feels good too. Ah, let's take a few more fluid breaths in and out. Legs feeling really light and fluffy. It's so good. And when you're ready, last little squeeze of energy into the body. Just roll over to your right side. Stretch out that leg. Oh, and we'll come into a little forward fold because we have just naturally done the whole back of the legs here. And so just come into a little forward fold and see how that feels. Oh, my feet are kind of crying out for something, but we'll have to save that for another video, I think. Ah, so a little forward fold feels really cool. Take a few more rounds of breath there. We will actually use the ball for a little bit of upper back mobility. So that's that ball with a little less air in it. Just move your blocks to the side, and the ball's going to come up into your mid to upper back, so the part of the back that has the most tension. And we're just simply going to roll on that slightly deflated ball forward and back. So sometimes the foam roller for some can feel a bit uncomfortable for the upper back and the shoulders. And drop the bum on down and then take some little squeezes from side to side. So think of a little rinsing right rib to right hip. And then up and over to the left. Also arch the head back and over the ball. Oh, that feels good. And the little rock side to side. That could be a nice little bit of a move there. So roll up and then roll back. Chin to chest, ribs to hips. And a few big rounds of breath there. So really big breaths into the front line of the body. And then as you breathe out, chin to chest, hands behind thighs, lift on up. Let's move that little ball away. And then grabbing your block, pop it on its landscape. And then flat landscape. This one's going to come at the kind of flat part of your upper back. Oh, bottom ribs. And then this one for the flat part at the base of the skull. You could also use your bolster if you wish. Actually going to slide it underneath my knees. Oops. And then we lay back on down. Oh, so good. And there we are. Final resting position. Oh, my legs feel like new and improved. Ah, just in this closing shape, just let your body drape over the props that support you. As I often say in yoga, that the props are there to do just that. They're like your best friend, propping you up when you need it, supporting you when you didn't think you needed the support. They're just there. And then there's the breath that just moves in and around and through. As you rest here, just let your body breathe. Let the breath nourish and support you. Slow motion, start to bring yourself back to your physical body, back to the breath. And slowly draw your knees into your chest. Stretch your legs towards the sky, your new improved set of legs. Yay. And then come on up. Oh, so good. And thank you so much, Gemma, for that gentle reminder. More stretch and recovery classes for sure. Feels so much better. I can't begin to tell you how much better my legs feel. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed that. And feel free to send me a note. The next body area, I reckon upper back and shoulders will definitely be on the agenda for the next one. All right. Take good care. Have an amazing weekend, and see you all soon.